So I've released the Cisco Firewall end-of-life device migration tool, and this video is going to quickly just go through where you can find the instructions and give you a quick demonstration on how to use the tool. So I'm not going to explain what the end-of-life device migration tool is because all the instructions are available and information on my website. So I will include a link in the description to this article so you can read through it. Tells you sort of my motivation around the project and also goes into how you can actually use the tool as well as accessing the tool here. What I will also be doing is updating the changelog as I update the tool itself. So I do plan to try my best to keep it updated. It is a best effort approach as it is a project that I put together. So if the interest is there to use the tool, then I will more than likely continue to update it. I've also got useful links around the Cisco documentation for like end-of-life devices, etc. as well, so you can check those out or come here to check those out. Getting to the tool itself, so there is a URL that you can use, and I will put that in the description as well. If you're on my website, then you can just visit that article and click through and it'll bring you to this tool. So here is the tool. I tried to keep it as simple as possible. What we can see at the very top here is just a disclaimer, just to sort of give you an idea of how the metrics or how this is being put together. The instructions again and the information on the article will give you that detail. Now we have two methods as pointed out in the instructions. We can select an end-of-life device. So you can see here we've got a number of end-of-life devices. So if I selected the ASA 5506, what it's going to do is it's then going to compare the some key metrics of the end-of-life device. So you can see that column there, and then we can see the recommended alternative device here, and then we can see the difference in performance, if you like, here as well. So this gives you a good idea of sort of if that device is if the recommended device or the alternative device is actually better than the end-of-life device in terms of some of the key metrics that we're looking at here. I also, if we go to say the 4120 for example, there's also going to be two alternatives here, because what I have done, the idea around this is to give you the closest matched device for the end-of-life device in terms of metrics. So them metrics, so you can see here for the 4120, the end-of-life device, the first alternative is the 3140. And you can see when we look at the difference in the metrics, we can see that for the majority, it's going to be equal or an improvement. But then we can see we have, for the newer device, actually concurrent connections is actually 5 million lower than the end-of-life device itself. And then similarly for the stateful inspection, if we're using the ASA code on the firepower, we can see actually we're getting less here. So what I then did is I added another alternative device, and this alternative device, this being the 4215 here for this particular end-of-life device, you can see now if we look at the differences for this device, we can see that all the metrics are either equal or improved, so there's no sort of negatives here. So that's the sort of logic around just being able to select from the drop down list and then the results being returned like that. If you don't want to use the drop down list, and you really want to kind of get more specific, you can also do that. So what I did is I created basically a filter section here where you can enter some key metrics that you're looking for. So using gigabits per second, so Gbps. So if we said we wanted a minimum firewall throughput of, say, 20 gig, let's put in 20 there, and we wanted, I don't know, let's just say maximum VPN so we wanted 200. What this is going to do as a minimum, that is, so we'll apply the filter, and now you can see what it's done is actually filtered to give us the available firewalls, potential migration options that are available based on what we've put. So again, we've put the minimum throughput was 20 gigs, so we can see that for the throughput we can see that we've got everything that's over 20 gig here, 20 gig or over, basically moving up. So if we wanted, I don't know, let's say we change it to let's say we wanted a beefy firewall, let's say 80 gig, then, you know, it narrows our options down to what we've got and gives you the different metrics that are available as well. So there's two options here to use. It's totally up to you which option you use. Hopefully you find this tool useful. If you do have any suggestions, recommendations, feel free to reach out, and I'll try to incorporate that into this tool. But enjoy, and thank you for watching.